Last week marked the official release of the Bacemint x Them Skates 909, aka the Bacethem. This skate has been rumoured for a long time, it's been speculated upon, there have been whispers in the grapevine, all of that jazz. Sean Kelso was accidentally responsible for the first leak of this skate. He filmed an Instagram clip of Ryan Parker and the skate could be seen in the background. Fortunately for him, with the quality of Instagram, if you zoomed in the image, all you got was this pixelated, fuzzy, useless, nothing to look at that you couldn't really tell what was going on. So inquiring minds, or nosy bastards like myself, when we zoomed in on the image, we didn't really have a lot to see. But then, not too long ago, Tyler Knight, another Philly skater that the Kelsos skate with once in a while, posted an image on his stories of the actual skate and it was much clearer, although it was then quickly taken down. Part of me thinks this might have been an intentional leak because they were kind of giving away what the skate looks like without actually giving away what it looked like. All it really gave away was the shell colour, which was a kind of dusty, matte pink. The reason I say this is because when the official images were released last week, it did have the same shell colour, it had the kind of dusty matte pink that was quite subdued, but it also had the same colour sole plate and it had that utterly wild intuition liner. When the official announcement of the skate was released, it kind of divided the skating community into two camps. There was a very vocal population that loved it, thought it was great, couldn't wait to cop it, and then there was a lot of people that really didn't like it, and that makes sense. That's always going to happen when a skate company releases a bold colorway. They did it with the two Braindead collaborations, they did it with the Weekend collaboration. The Clarks one was a little bit more subtle, but this one again has returned to their ways of making a very strong statement. And some people thought they were kind of trying to lean into the Barbie theme.
Did you bring your rollerblades?
I literally go nowhere without them.
Some people thought it was a throwback to kind of 90s pop culture, like Saved by the Bell, because of the liner and the similar aesthetic to that. And someone quite humorously compared it to a fleshlight, which I will never be able to get that imagery out of my mind. And I find that utterly hilarious. I personally like it. I don't normally go for bold colours. I usually like black or grey. White skates tend to give me anxiety because they look great out the box, and then after the first time you've skated them, I just feel like they look tarnished. It's like when you get white trainers and then someone stands on them and you're just like, well, these are tainted forever. But with this colorway, I feel like it's subtle enough that you could make some like alterations to it, give it like black cuffs or black soles and really dull down the color, and I think it would be complemented by a lot of different combinations. Plus, I seriously prefer this to the Weekend collaboration that they did. I loved the promo that came out of it, I loved the two videos, I loved the whole idea that they went for with the marketing.
We don't fuck with rollerbladers.
It looks like there's plenty of room on the bleachers too, so...
It's social suicide.
I mean, they look cool to me.
But the skate itself was just horrendous. I just found it really garish. It reminded me of a traffic cone. It's a pair of skates that look like a toy. And as someone who just turned 40 this month, I don't want to play around on toys. When I'm rolling around on my rollerblades, when I'm playing on my skates, I want to look like an adult, okay? Their most recent collaboration before this, the one with Clarks, I did think it was a lot better, although again, I was disappointed. Them skates teamed up with one of the giants of footwear, and I thought it was really cool that they released a capsule collection with the shoes. I thought that was a really nice touch, but the skate itself, I just found it a little bit disappointing, a little bit underwhelming. It was just a blue skate with cream frames, I think, and yeah, it just felt like something more interesting could have come out of it. But with the Bacethem, it makes perfect sense because it really fits into the aesthetic that Bacemint have created or cultivated over the past few years, and it definitely complements Sean Kelso's style because he's all into that 90s vibe with these MC Hammer trousers flowing in the wind and his bright colours and just all these wild combinations of clothes that he wears. Colin Kelso, not so much. He's a little bit more understated and he's definitely toned down his fashion sense in recent years. He goes for the kind of shirts and dickies combo more often than not, but it definitely matches Sean's wild aesthetic. Plus, I imagine that the Intuition liner, with how utterly unique it looks, is going to become an instant collector's item, and people are going to be buying the skates and selling off those liners for ridiculous prices. If I could get those for under $200, I would definitely buy a pair, because they're just a lot of fun, and you'll know how kind of crazy the colorway is, even though you're hiding it inside your skate, which I quite like. I like the fact that it's like a kind of little hidden secret, although people could probably still tell from looking at the top. Either way, I don't care. I think the liners are a lot of fun, and I'm there for it. No matter what your feelings are about the skate itself, no one can deny that the marketing and the promotion around this product have been unbelievable. That is one thing that them skates have absolutely excelled at in recent years. They just know how to make their products look great. Even the ones that I would argue don't look that great. They have found a way to permeate pop culture on multiple occasions in recent years. They've been popping up from everywhere, from Vogue to GQ to New York Times, and this seems like the kind of thing that again will attract outside eyes, because the promo that they made for it with the blue background just really kind of exposed how interesting a colorway the skate was, and the promotional video that Sean and Colin made, the rewatch value on that is undeniable. I've watched it at least 20 times, mainly for Colin Kelso because I'm probably his biggest fan, but the fact that just so many of the tricks are absolute mind melters, tricks that I don't think I've seen other people do before, just new and innovative ways of either inventing new combos, inventing new switch ups, or taking ideas that were previously thought of as uncool and just putting their own spin on it, laying so much confidence into it, and making believers of people that probably wouldn't like those tricks originally. As always, Sean Kelso is unbelievably technical in this. I feel like every time Sean Kelso either brings out a video or an Instagram clip, he's trying to one-up himself, he's trying to beat himself. It's like he's got this ongoing battle going on, and it's just absolutely fascinating to watch. He is just so intricate with his grinds, and it's only when you realise that a lot of them are using different feet. So like you'll see him do a hurricane fish brain or a 360 fish brain, and they're on opposite feet, and it's only later when you actually acknowledge what is happening, you're like, oh my god, that's even more difficult than I originally thought. Once again, his 1 foot game is on point, whether it's balancing long stylish torque slides along rough ledges that we've seen them skate loads of times before, or he's doing incredibly difficult 1 foot Macchio variations going from true spin fish brains back round to other grinds, or we're seeing him do torque slide to backslide variations on long curved ledges, just controlling, balancing, making it look like he could do that over and over again. I was particularly impressed near the end where he did a 360 fish brain on 1 foot and then did a hurricane fish brain on the other foot. Normally that kind of thing's frowned on in rollerblading when you show the ability to do like a switch and a natural one after the other. Sean Kelso clearly doesn't care about that rule. I definitely don't care about that rule, and it just shows how ridiculously good he is, although it's not like that was ever in any question. One trick I am curious about though is the half cab sole to 360 sole that he does in the ledge. I call it half cab, some people call it fakey 180 to sole, I really don't care. Basically he goes from backwards to sole, 360 soles, then 360s out. Now this one's quite interesting because as soon as he lands the second sole grind, he instantly lifts his front foot up, so it's basically like a freestyle Macchio for the end, but he 360s out of it, showing that he's in complete control. Now I do wonder about this one. I wonder if he kept trying and that was just the best attempt that he could get. I wonder if he saw the footage of it and like played it back when he was watching it with Colin and went, actually that looks really good, I'm going to go with that, or whether that was the intention from the start. We have seen him do the same switch up before in the collaboration video between Braindead and them skates for Future Shred Technology, where he does it on a much shorter bench in San Francisco. So it's definitely been proven that Sean Kelso can do this trick, but it wasn't a much shorter obstacle. Maybe he just couldn't hold it on a longer ledge. Maybe that was the intention all along. Either way, it was very impressive to watch. And my favourite aspect of any Bacemint video is Colin Kelso footage, because out of the Kelsos, Colin is by far my favourite. He has been for years, ever since Steal This Video, Physics Master of Delusion, the Denial videos, the Be Unique videos, the Truth videos. I am a Colin Kelso super fan, and I feel like after him and USD parted ways and he was on like SSM for a little while, I feel like that wasn't really Colin Kelso at his peak. Even when we saw him in KC Mo and Valo Philly, even in the early Bacemint videos, it was always impressive to watch. It was beautiful to watch him skate, and still enjoyed his footage, but it just didn't feel like he was at peak performance like he was in those days. Over the past couple of years, Colin Kelso has had one hell of a resurgence, and I feel like he's very much up there. In fact, I feel like he's excelled what he was at when he was pro for those companies. He has taken so many elements from different areas of aggressive skating. He's also taken numerous elements from wizard skating and blending them all together into his own unique mix to just create these truly fascinating clips. In recent videos, he's been doing grinds to toe slides, grinds to heel slides. He's been doing gazelles and lions inside and out of tricks, and just blowing my mind all over the place. And in this video, he's doing it again. He's doing grabbed heel roll combos to grinds going forwards and going backwards. And towards the end of the video, he does this combination that I can't even remember off the top of my head, where he's basically doing pivoted, one-footed heel rolls with a grab in the middle of combos of other tricks. It's the places his mind and creativity and imagination goes no bounds, and I absolutely love watching it. I also love the idea that he introduces tricks that have previously been thought of as uncool, like Christ grinds, and just manipulates them in so many different ways. Here you see him doing an alley-oop Christ wall ride. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do one of those before, and he just makes it look like absolute poetry in motion. I also love this clip where he does a true spin Christ Macchio. Is that what you call it? Christ Macchio? Yeah, probably Christ Macchio. True spin Christ Macchio, full cab out, holding the Christ on the full cab out. That is just, I mean, there are no words. He introduces them into other grinds throughout the video, and Sean Kelso even gets in the action. He does a couple of variations of it as well, and I think he does them in like torque slides and fishbrain and Macchio variations. And just, it seems like they've had a meeting of brothers in the basement and just went, right, this is the trick we're going to push in this video, and just went all in. I also feel like in recent videos, Colin Kelso's had more of an influence on the musical choices, because in the Galazzo one that they made, there was an emo track. In one of the recent ones, they used a Nothing track, which are a kind of post-hardcore act. And in this video, they used a typo negative track, which definitely doesn't feel like it's inside Sean's musical library. That feels like it's something that Colin's introduced into the mix. And I love it. I love the fact that they're blending kind of hip hop with other genres, rather than some of the Bacemint videos have just been pure hip hop soundtracks, and I've found those quite repetitive. But the fact that they're introducing different sonic elements and keeping you on your toes is, I just think it makes it more engaging to watch. Like almost all Bacemint videos, this has got a lot of replay value, highly rewatchable. I think it's going to rack up so many views before the end of the year. Loads of people are already calling it the edit of the year, and I firmly believe this skate is going to sell well, despite the fact that it's got quite a high price point. I'm pretty sure it's over $500, which is a lot for a 909. But when you consider all the kind of extra features that you're getting with it, like the custom bolts, the intuition liner that's obviously got quite a lot of kind of attachments onto it and color combinations, it kind of makes sense. Plus, they will be, I guess, Bacemint will be getting a profit of it as well. I would assume they're getting like maybe the $30 royalties, perhaps even higher, because it's a collaboration skate as opposed to being a pro skate. Who knows? I really like what they've went for. I definitely prefer this to the other collaborations that them skates have done in the past. I think the vision for it and the actual product has been really well executed by them skates, Mike McMullen and the Kelsos. And yeah, I think they're onto a winner with this one. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think of the Bacethem 909? Do you think it's a win? Do you think it's a loss? What did you think of the promo and the marketing around it? What did you think of the new tricks that Sean and Colin are introducing? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. They're listed on the screen now. If you want to join the Patreon, you can do so for as little as £3 a month. There are loads of things on there, and I'd really appreciate your support. Yeah, speak to you guys soon.